guess this is working. I have no idea. If anyone's watching, let me know if you can hear me, because this is all very new. I'm trying a new software. I'm trying OBS. OBS. Hopefully it's not BS. Okay, so sign into chat, it says. Let's see if I can sign into chat. If anyone's watching, let me know if you can hear me right now, and then I'll start playing, because at this point, I have no idea. Truly no clue. Yeah, okay. Whatever. I don't know what's going on. Let's try this. Now. Yes, it was me. All right, guys. If you're here, I'm gonna see if I can watch this. Maybe. I don't know what's going on. All right, I'm gonna start playing, because why not? Yeah. Okay, live. It says I'm live here. Maybe I can see. Oh yeah, I can see myself. Wonderful. All right. If you guys are in the chat, hopefully I'll be able to see you on my phone rather than on the screen. I don't know. Trying to figure this out as I go. All right. If you're watching, let me know if you can hear the audio. I don't know if anyone's watching. If you are, go ahead and leave a message. Let me know if you can hear what's going on. All right, I'm distracted by too many screens at this point, but I'm just hanging out to test out if this is working or not, because I would love this technology to work, and then we can hang out. Let's talk about my guitar in the meantime. If anyone's watching, leave a message, comment, let me know if you can hear me, because this is all new technology that I'm using to try to stream this. So I got to see if this works or not. So I'll say, yes, I can hear you. No, I can't. Whatever. I'll talk about this guitar in the meantime. It's really interesting because this Gibson Les Paul, which I love, has a binding around the headstock, which is not that common. I bought it in, I want to say, kind of the early 2000s. It's, you can't tell, but it's chambered in some areas, so it's not super heavy, but the tone is fantastic. It's got uncovered classic 57 pickups in it. Love this guitar. Went to multiple stores to get it. Up in the Toronto area, I went to several. Long and McQuaid's, went to Cosmo, which is now defunct, and Long and McQuaid bought them. Went to Steve's Music downtown and wound up getting it at Steve's Music. It was between this and another, kind of like a Cherry Burst. And just the sound of this was a little bit more mid-punchy, kind of cut through a bit more. So hopefully you can hear that. I don't know if any sound is coming through. Again, if you guys can put something in the chat, and then maybe I'll be able to see it. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I'm going to add something in the chat. Can you So I put that in the chat, see if anything else pops up. I'll keep talking and pretend as though you guys can hear me, because why the heck not? So I'm playing through, which you can kind of see the corner of here. This is a 1990s era, kind of first edition Fender Blues Deluxe Tweed. And this thing, I replaced the speaker with a Tone Tubby hemp cone speaker. It's the green one. I did that because I went to New York and I was playing through a Tone Tubby cabinet, although I think it was the red ones, not the green one, through a 2-rock. Everything's going to sound great in a 2-rock. But anyhow, this speaker was in Crate. I think it was a Crate cabinet amplifier. And basically, I was like, all right, I'll take that speaker and put it in there, and did a little dipsy doodle. Also took it in for some service at one point, and they wired it. They said something about the effect of, you know, wiring the mid pot to, when it's all the way off, to turn off the volume as well. I don't know what that's all about, but other than that, it's stock. So, which is to say, it's not stock. But those are the only two things that I changed about it. It's a pretty cool amp. And it sounds great, nice and clean. This guitar. So I just started learning the diminished half whole and whole half scales, and I'm trying to implement that in my playing. Still trying to get it in my ear to do it properly. Maybe we'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, I'm playing in B flat, dominant 7 kind of blues right now. Let's talk about some chord voicings that I'm using. Now, again, if you guys can hear me, or if you can't hear me, let me know, please, in the comment section down below. Hopefully I'll be able to hear it. I don't know what's going on. This is a new system that I'm using, so it might be kind of funky. I'm not sure. Let's talk about, do a little lesson on like making just playing rhythm a little bit more interesting, all right? So typically speaking, if you're playing a blues, like a dominant, sort of major dominant kind of blues, we're in B flat here. The chords are B flat, E flat, F. All right, we'll just go through that. So using the B flat 7 to make this chord more interesting, I have so many things right under my fingertips without having to go too far or have to know too much theory. Just within that area, knowing the B flat minor blues scale, or the minor pentatonics, and a couple others, a couple other notes that are lying around, I can go ahead and all right, so just that, holding the chord, I'm using my pinky, going through the notes of the scale while I'm playing the chord, and it makes it much more interesting sounding. So if I'm just playing that just on one chord vamp, all that just sounds, in my ear, it's not so complicated, but it's your ear's following the melody, so it makes it sound more interesting. Is basically what you were kind of hearing in the background. And I'm just holding a B flat dominant 7 chord. Now you can play it in G and F, and you know the guitar, you can slide it all around. Same stuff applies, right? So that was just on the 1 chord with a 6th root. Now let's go to the 5th root for a minute. So the 4 chord, we're on that E flat dominant 7 chord. And within that E flat dominant 7, you can play, again, the same notes, other notes as well because you have so many other things at your fingertips. But just to keep things simple, let's just keep it in the B flat minor blues scale with those extra two notes, the ninth and the sixth. Okay, so we're on the 4 chord. So all that, again, I'm overdoing it, but it's a great example of what you can do just to make things more interesting. So same thing applies for the 5 chord, just sliding it up 2 frets. Now the other thing that you can add on, you can do it here too for the 1 chord. But you can play the 9th chord, which is also very common, that sort of James Brown. You can play that 9th chord. You can play the 7th chord like this, which is essentially in that caged kind of system, like a C major, and you're putting your pinky down here to make it a C7. You're just playing the inside 4 strings, so 5, 4, 3, 2, those strings, sliding it up so that your 3rd finger, your ring finger here, is on the root note, and you can move it up for the 5. So because of the way that the notes are arranged, it just sounds a little bit different. I can go different versions of that same kind of chord. So you see, just with that movement, it sounds a lot more interesting, a little bit more jazzy, more melodic, right? So it's pretty simple. Again, I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. Maybe you're leaving comments and I can't see them. I don't know. But if you're watching this, let me know if you can hear what's going down. Cool? In the meantime, I'll keep playing and talking as though you can. Alright, so now from rhythm, I'll give you guys some rhythm. I'll keep it simple, and then maybe I'll play some leads, and we'll talk about options to play things that are a little bit more interesting. So keep it from simple, and then we'll start to build and make it more complicated or more advanced. But not too theoretical that it's just way out there. Alright, I'm going to use this Legato looper pedal. I have a demo of that on my channel, but I'll use that right now just to sort of lay down a simple 12-bar blues. 2, 3, 4. All right, here we go. So you can hear the volume because I wasn't sure. I'm I'm using a new system. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that I was doing when I was kind of soloing through all that stuff. The home base for me is always simple, right? Simple pentatonics or blues based, minor blues based scales. So I'm playing the B flat. All right, that's first position. Obviously, you want to learn it in all positions, like. Trying to keep it straightforward, sorry. So that's third, fourth, fifth, on and on, right? So that's sort of the basics. If you want to think of it like a body, you're building a body. This is sort of the skeletal structures, the pentatonics. You start to put some meat on the bones. That's the blues scale. You want to start to put like skin and muscle and cartilage and all that. That's other things around it, like the Mixolydian mode. All right, and then you can do other things to make it a little bit more fancy, which I guess would be the clothes on top or the how you accessorize. So things like that would be what I'm doing for that B flat. Is I don't think I created it, but I kind of discovered through self-discovery and exploration this dominant ninth pentatonic, which would be kind of combining the pentatonics with the essence of Mixolydian, but keeping it simple in that pentatonic mindset. So it looks like this in B flat. All right, I'm going to change the loop thing here. I don't know what that was. And I'm just going to keep it on a B flat, and you'll hear what that sounds like. So let's just do that. Okay. So regular blues scale. I'm just going to turn this down a touch. All right. So that's the B flat blues. Now I've got the Mixolydian. A little bit more advanced. Now the dominant ninth pentatonic. So I'll make it even quieter, and I'll change the sound seeker. So that has that different vibe, that Mixolydian vibe in a pentatonic kind of fingering, an altered pentatonic fingering, and it makes it a little bit more interesting, so that you're basically spelling the changes. I'll go back to this. And as I go to the 4 chord, of course, the scales change underneath that. So you can keep on the B flat minor blues, that's sort of home base for all, but if you want to change, play the changes as they say, on the 4 chord, I'm going to change it to the E flat dominant 9th pentatonic. Then when I go to the F, I'm going to go to the F9 pentatonic, again staying in the same area, so you got to know all 5 positions, but sorry, in that same area. Then I'm playing can hear how each of those scales sound against each of those chords. It really fits kind of like a glove, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, that's it for now. I just wanted to pop on really quickly to test this new system to see if it works. I'm going to check it back and see if you can even hear what I'm doing. Hopefully, if you guys have any questions, you'll ask them in the chat below. And if this works, fingers crossed, we'll do it more regularly. All right? Cool. Thanks, everybody.